Total Quality Housekeeping Custodian Education presents an internet classroom on sanitizing and disinfecting from a janitorial viewpoint. The contents of this class are presented as a learning aid to improve the performance of custodians. We make no other claims or guarantees. What are germs? Germs are microorganisms that can make living things sick. Microorganisms take things apart, as in decay, and return their nutrients back into the Earth's natural resource system. Basically, they're nature's recyclers. Microorganisms help living things break their food down into liquid nutrient. We call it digestion. Microorganisms are invisible to the naked eye. They can cause infections. They must live within a host, or we call it soil at times. They do not have stomachs in which food may be stored. That's why they have to live in the soil, and they can't go for a walk on the clean side. Soil is their food and their home. Let's say it again a little differently. Microorganisms cannot live outside of soil. Nature places them in soil to feed and recycle the soil. Therefore, washing away soil removes germs. Trying to kill germs with a disinfectant or sanitizing solution without first removing the soil will dangerously imbalance nature's germ ratios within the soil. That's a recipe for building super germs. Trying to remove soil by using a disinfectant or sanitizer solution may create a dangerous germ imbalance. And here's what we mean by that, and we're doing it graphically. The bluish-green lines are the okay non-hostile germs, and the red line is the dangerous and resistant germ. This is an illustration of how washing with a disinfectant or sanitizer solution can backfire on you. Imagine the soil, and in the soil are these germs. But we only have one real bad one, and the rest are okay. As soon as you apply the disinfectant solution, because you're trying to remove the soil and kill the germ, you don't remove all of the soil. But what happens is the red germs are the resistant germs, and they become the ones that are going to survive more often. So after wash one, you all of a sudden have more red germs. Now you do wash two. Same soil, just you're washing it again. It could be the next day. Now it comes back, you see you have more of the dangerous germs, and so on. Now grant you, this is an illustration, but this is what can happen when you try to wash away soil with disinfectant or sanitizing solution, thinking that you're killing all of the germs. So eventually, you've got more of the dangerous germs than you have of the ones that won't bother you. So trying to remove soil and kill germs in one step can elevate the dangerous germ population in any unremoved soil, or what we like to call left behind soil. That's when you look at something like a baseboard and you start seeing a buildup, or in grout in a bathroom and it starts to look like you're polishing the grout with black shoe polish. That's unremoved soil. Sanitizing compared to disinfecting. Let's define what sanitary means. It's virtually a soil-free surface. It's a clean, healthy, and hygienic surface. Now, to sanitize, you must do it after you wash and rinse, and then you apply the sanitizing solution as an insurance step against the germs that may be left behind in microscopic amounts. Left behind soil that is too small to see. So you use a sanitizer to go after them if they're there. You don't even know if they're there because the fork or the glass or whatever looks clean. When a sanitizer solution dries, though, there is nothing left to continue killing microorganisms or germs in the newly arriving soil. So the protection ends when the solution dries. Now let's think of silverware and glasses. When you wash them, get them clean, and then you sanitize them, and as soon as that sanitizing solution dries, the protection is over. Airborne germs and germs from touch are now free to begin populating the surface. To disinfect, a surface must be washed and rinsed thoroughly, just as though you were doing the sanitizing process. Because if you leave any left behind soil, that soil contaminates the newly applied disinfectant, and basically you're going to negate any of the disinfectant's ability to kill new germs that are coming out of the air. When the disinfecting treatment dries, the surface becomes sticky, and then that stickiness is there to hold onto landing micro-sized airborne soil in which there are germs inside. So the bottom line is a surface that's going to have a disinfectant applied to it must be soil-free or washed and rinsed before the application of the disinfectant. Disinfectant detergents were designed for airborne germs. This is an operating room. This is what you would find in an operating room or an emergency room or anywhere where after a procedure is performed, they clean it up and then retreat it. And the application of the disinfectant solution must be done immediately after a thorough washing and rinsing. And we've shown this graphically with the green. When that disinfectant dries, it laminates to the surface in the form of a disinfectant sticky film. Airborne germs are there constantly. Whatever land on those surfaces stick there, they're trapped, and then the disinfectant chemical starts going after the germ to kill them. The white dots represent germs that have been killed. So you get no live germ transfer from the surface to a glove or to an instrument. Disinfectants and sanitizers only work the first time. They only work if the surface is washed and rinsed well before the sanitizer or disinfectant is applied. But once the surface is contaminated with soil, the germ killing power ceases. Killing power is available the first time, only once. And once it gets contaminated, the process must be repeated after each contamination. Do not use disinfectant detergent solutions for washing down these areas. Now with gym mats, very, very important that you remove the body oils from them. Sticking in the body oils are soils that contain germs. Get everything off of there, and now you have a sanitary surface. Floor mopping, the same thing. Drinking fountains, auto scrubbers, flat wet mopping. You want to use detergents that remove soil on those surfaces, not leaving something behind, because if you don't get all of that soil off of there, you now have a sticky substance in that soil, and eventually, like with floor mopping, you'll end up walking around with your shoes sticking to the floor. Sanitizers evaporate and completely leave the surface. Disinfectants leave a sticky film after the evaporation. Let's take a look at a bottle label of a disinfectant. One of the first things it says, it is a violation of federal law to use this product in a manner inconsistent with its labeling. Basically, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency of the United States government, is saying that it is unlawful to misuse that product. You're violating the law. It will say on porous surfaces or where visible soil exists, pre-cleaning is required. I challenge that and say, what about invisible soil? They have germs in them. They're just as dangerous as visible soil. If you don't know what you can't see, you got to play by the rule of best practice, and that is wash the surface down with a good detergent, rinse it well, and then apply your disinfectant, and do it on a surface that once it gets contaminated, you're going to do it again. You're going to go through that process again. That isn't going to happen on a toilet. That isn't going to happen on a drinking fountain. That isn't going to happen on a patient room floor. Your focus has to be to remove all of the soil, or as much of the soil as you can possibly remove, and leave the surface free of anything. A film-free surface, so you don't accelerate the collection of future soil. On the bottle label, thoroughly clean all surfaces prior to applying. Why? Because disinfectant manufacturers have no idea as to how much soil one surface will have versus another. Therefore, the beginning point must be a clean and film-free surface. Should a disinfectant or sanitizer be mixed with a general detergent for improved cleaning and germ killing? Absolutely not. And the main reason is that the general detergent will look at the disinfectant solution as soil and hold it and not release it, which now slows you down in the picking up of the real soil. A false assumption. Soaking dirty floors with a sanitizer or disinfectant solution will completely kill germs and remove offensive odors. That's a dream. That doesn't happen. Soil will cancel the germ-killing power of a sanitizer or disinfectant, and you get nothing but dirty, sticky film at the end of your effort. It's dangerous to assume that a spritz and wiping of a disinfectant or sanitizing solution will make germ-free magic. No way. It's not going to happen. That's why the label is written the way the EPA requires. Now, this is a little different perspective, but it should get you an idea of why you don't have to have a sterile building. In our bodies, we have to get rid of soil. So we have organs that do things, like the liver filters harmful substances from the blood. The kidneys sort out and sift out waste products and water. Organs are used in our bodies to remove unwanted toxins, which is soil. Soil in a building is a form of a toxin. Soil in your body we call toxin. The organs are used to remove it from our bodies. The organs don't remove 100%, but they bring the soil count down, and our immune system senses everything going on in our body and deals with it on a regular basis and makes the drugs that are necessary to manage and fight off germ counts. What we have to do is allow the immune system to function and not get overrun. So in a building, a janitor removes the building soil down to a level that a body can handle, the same way the organs do. A janitor doesn't have to have a sterile building and be perfect, nor do the organs deliver a sterile body. As long as the soil levels are safe and you haven't created the situation where you're attacking soil with disinfectants and sanitizers without first cleaning the surfaces properly, you're not going to have a dangerous germ ratio change that overpowers the immune system. If janitors and organs do a good job and not worry about trying to kill every piece of germ and every piece of soil, the immune systems will be able to manage after the levels of soil are brought down to that manageable level. And that's done in a building with detergents that work in a high performance way, that work in cold water, that don't leave a film. Because if it leaves a film, in that film will be some soil. Don't use disinfectant detergents. I'm repeating this again because this is so important. On kitchen surfaces. Now someone might say, well, we've got to use bleach or whatever. That's okay. But you wash those surfaces down with, I don't care, dish soap. But you wash them down and you rinse them before you go use the bleach. Restrooms and shower surfaces. Just get them clean. We have another one of these classes on how to pick the right detergent, and you can go watch that, and that'll show you which detergent is used where. But you don't use disinfectants in those showers thinking you're killing germs. You take the soil out of there. Gym mats, I already talked to you about that. But these are the areas you want to be careful and focus on removing soil and not trying to kill germs and not know if you got them all. So therefore, use a TQH certified cold water high performance detergent, and that will ensure you that if you follow the right procedures, and we have training classes on that, you'll end up removing virtually all of the soil, and with the soil go the germs. Soil level and germ counts will be down to a level where the immune system can function. And if you're going to sanitize or disinfect, you do it after a thorough washing and rinsing. Thank you.